And then, yeah, I started working in Fortitude. I started taking my job a bit more seriously. I started working more. I started smoking more. Stopped eating. And then it all kind of boiled down to one day. Well, I guess like two, really. I was feeling shitty the night before, and then I woke up, and me and my manager, Nate, had a tea time. We were golfing, and I had drank the night before quite a bit. I can't remember what day it was. It had to have been a Monday or a Sunday, because I got off early on those days, so I'd go and drink and hang out with friends like I did and smoke a bunch of cigarettes. And we got to the golf course. I knew there was something wrong immediately because Nate picked us up breakfast, and I had like 2 bites out of my fucking breakfast sandwich and a sip out of the coffee. I was like, fuck that. I can't even.
So you already didn't feel good before you even got there.
Yeah, I thought it was just like, I haven't had a smoke yet.
Yeah. Okay.
And I got into the car and it was whatever.
Yeah.
And hole 7 comes around. And I know something's kind of wrong too, because I couldn't smoke either. I'd like have a smoke and I'd get halfway through and be like, this is really shitty. And I love smoking. And I know, bad.
I love it.
It's so sick. And I was like, I couldn't drink water. It'd go right through me. I couldn't. And then I was like, oh, you know what's even better than water? Beer. And it was a gorgeous sunny day, about having a beer. And at this point in hindsight, I guess it wasn't the greatest idea, because I guess I gave myself sunstroke as well in the sun. And then later on that golf game, I think it was hole 18 or 17, and I had literally shit myself.
Holy fuck.
And I haven't told anybody that.
Yeah, I don't think I remember you telling me that.
No, it was awful. And I didn't even tell Nate. I went to the bathroom, cleaned myself up, and I'd work later. And I was so upset that I was more upset at the fact that I was kind of sick and shit myself rather than me being sick in the first place. I was more upset that I shit myself a bit. And
I think most people would be.
Yeah, right? And I didn't tell anybody. I tell Nate that I'm not feeling good. And this is when I guess I started developing jaundice, which is when your skin goes yellow and shit.
Okay, yeah.
And I got to work, and the first thing I did is I ran down to fucking, what's that boys clothing store?
Oh,
next to Bell and Red. Yeah, and I bought myself new underpants, threw the old ones away because I was ashamed of it, and didn't tell anybody. And I fucking go to work. It never happened.
Yeah.
And I was never feeling bad. I just kind of pushed it away.
Once you cleaned yourself up, you were good to go.
I was like, 100%, let's go. And I get to work, and I was trying to drink some water, and I was puking that up. And then I tried to eat something. I was shitting that all over the place. Sorry to get gross like that, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
And then I went across to Lee's and I bought some Pepto, and Pepto wouldn't do anything for me. That came back up just as pink as it went down. And I was looking at my chef and I'm like, man, I'm not feeling hot right now. I need to go. I couldn't stay out of the bathroom for more than 5 minutes. And he's like, yeah, man, you need to get out of here. Go.
Yeah.
And I get my sister to come pick me up. I get another bottle of Pepto, because duh.
Oh, you had a couple.
Yeah.
I just never something I even think about.
I never
drinking.
did either.
I don't know why. It's just
I've seen people do it. This is this was the first time I bought Pepto, and I was like, oh, it's got to be that then. That's what it is.
It's got to be that.
It's definitely not all the cigarettes I've been smoking. And
nothing.
No, it has nothing to do with all the liquor and weed I smoke. And I get my sister to pick me up, and we go to A&W. Of course, is the first place you go when you're not feeling well.
Need some food, go to A&W.
Yeah, right? The fastest of fast foods.
Yeah.
And we get home. I crush that. Drink more Pepto, fall asleep on the couch, and then I wake up. And this is when I'm like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Because I had fully sweat through my I sweat through jeans, man. I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt. And I'm shaking because I have this fever, and it was like the worst feeling I think I've ever felt my whole life, other than being at the hospital without all the other shit that was happening. But this was like the end of the end for me, I feel like. And then I call my mom. I'm like, I can't breathe properly. Like it feels like somebody's standing on my chest. I'm hot as fuck. I have a fever. I don't know what's going on. I can't drink water. And my mom always taught me that if it was longer than 24 hours, to let her know. You never go to bed feeling like shit. Like if it's with your body. Mentally, talk to my mom about it, whatever. But it was like, body-wise, get that shit checked out. So we ended up going to Langley General at like, I think it was like 8:39. And then I get checked in, and this was like the fastest check-in I've ever had, I guess, because they kind of had some suspicions of shit.
Yeah, you just probably really didn't look good.
Yeah, I was yellow. And I'm like sitting in emergency. I get moved from a bed to a chair, back to a different chair, and I was there overnight, and I told my mom to go because I was like, you're no good to me here. You're no good to yourself. Tired as fuck in the morning.
Yeah.
Go home, get some sleep, blah, 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 blah. And my mom goes home, and at like 2:30 in the morning, I'm talking to this nurse, and she's like, okay, let's go through your symptoms again. I'm like, bruh, I just told somebody, go get it from that guy. It's 2 in the morning. I'm trying to sleep, and I feel like an ass.
Yeah.
And we're going through it all. She's like, talk me through it, blah, 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 blah. I tell her what's going on. And at like 4:35, I get moved up to peds because a bed got opened up.
What is peds?
Oh, pediatrics. It's like the child's unit.
Okay.
And
Were
was
you
awful.
a child? Why did you have to go there?
Because it was the only available bed.
Oh, okay.
They were just shuffling me around. I moved spots like 6 times. And I have my little IV thing. I'm in a wheelchair. I'm getting carted
You
around.
look like a fucking old man.
Yeah. It was dope, though. Everybody was getting me shit. I was like, this being sick is not bad. And I get up to peds, and then this like gang of doctors and nurses come in, and they just start rifling off a bunch of shit that's wrong with me. And I'm like, dude, I am in no position to be hearing about any of this. And then my mom shows up, and they're talking to my mom, they're talking to me, and they're like, essentially what's happening to you right now is you have kidney and liver failure. And I was like, what the fuck? How?
Where did that come from?
I was like, 2 days before, I was having a great time at work. It was sunny. It was in the middle of summer. And I was like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, we can't really figure it out. We can't tell you. We have no other information for you other than you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
And then
it's failing.
Yeah, like you're screwed right now. And they wanted me to go to St. Paul's downtown because they have like a designated kidney liver unit. And the guy's telling me all these things that I need to get done. Halfway through it, he's trying to explain it to me, and I have no idea. And then he goes, okay, you need to go for an MRI. You need one of those, what's the fucking, they rub ultrasound. You go for an ultrasound. You go for an x-ray. I had everything under the sun done to me. And at like 6 o'clock, I get sent up to pediatrics, and this dude comes in with a fucking thing. He puts a catheter in, and I was so pissed off because I have no idea what's going on.
Well, at that point, too, when he's going to do that, did you feel so bad that it didn't really matter what they had to do anymore?
I had kind of reached the point where it was like, you know what? I'm assuming I'm in this for the long run now. You just do what you gotta do, man. Like, fucking get it over with.
Because I feel like sitting here right now, of me thinking of going to the hospital and getting a catheter, be like, holy fuck, that'd be brutal. But when you're actually in there and those, like, you just feel like there's nothing else you can do. And I feel like you get so shitty and feel so shitty that it doesn't really matter. They just put it in, and it would be a totally different experience if you went to get one, like,
hey, let's do something fun.
Not that it would be, but as weird as it is, I don't think it seems as bad when you're in the situation. You're just like, whatever,
at that point, I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Fix me.
Yeah. Put it anywhere you want.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And he puts a catheter in, and my pee bag is like brown, like Coca-Cola brown. And there's like shit floating in my pee and all this shit. Oh yeah, it was awful. And then at like 7 o'clock in the morning, I get sent over to St. Paul's. And as soon as I get into St. Paul's, it's probably the scariest room I've ever been in, is that emergency room. There's like people shooting up outside. There's people tweaking in the lobby. There's this dude having a mental breakdown over here. And then there's the ambulance guy like, oh, yeah, just a regular day in the life. And I was like, this is fucked up. This is not where I should be right now. I'm not this sick.
Did you have to wait in with all those people?
Yeah, because I had to get processed.
Oh, they don't just bring you right in?
No, because I thought
you kind of got to skip all that.
No, I wish.